Talking about the hot topics, my girl, yeah. Virginia C. Willa, talking about the hot topics. You wanna know what's going on? Yeah, we talk about it. All in the streets, yeah, we talk about it. What's going on in the church? Yeah, we talk about it. How to make money? Yeah, we talk about it. Facebook, yeah. IG, Twitter, web, so.
Good night, good night, good night. Or should I say good evening? You know, most when you see an islander, they say good night. Anytime it's nighttime or anytime after 5 o'clock, they call it good night. So listen, this is your girl, Kenya C. Willer, and I'm here with the hot topics. So listen, I just want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. I want to give a shout out to Nivram. You know, Nivram, we always rock the Nivram wear, Nivram collection right here on Facebook, as well as we want to give a shout out to a Natural Seal. Now, Natural Seal has always been my proud sponsor. She paid the cost to be the boss over here on Hot Topics Pop-Up Show. Again, she's offering the hand sanitizer, soaps, and body sprays and lotions. So everybody knows that normally I have my lotion on deck, but I don't have it tonight. So Sylvia, I want to apologize. So we want to give a shout out as well as Euphoric Felicity. Euphoric Felicity, they make sure that we are draped in gems. So head over to Euphoric Felicity. If you're looking for some nice gems, again, Euphoric Felicity, they make sure that I'm draped in gems, as well as eye candy. Eye candy, well, it's actually called eye charms, but I don't like that. I'm sorry, I love you, but I don't like that. I think that eye candy should be the name. She like eye charms. I like eye candy because everybody needs candy in their life. And this is eye charms. I call it eye candy, and she just got to deal with it because this is my show. So listen, I want to welcome everybody tonight to Hot Topics Pop-Up Show right here. We broadcasted live from the studio. We just want to check the sound. Hold on, let me make sure you guys are hearing me well because the sound in the mic and in the headphones don't give me justice. So let me just check my sound. So again, we're broadcasting live, and I got a great guest tonight that's going to come in. We're not going to hold them long. We want to get to the nitty gritty because I wasn't familiar with the termite problem until I actually had a termite problem, and it was a couple years back. So I wasn't aware of Richard, who is my classmate, which I have been knowing all my life. His family lived on 8th, I live on 7th. So basically, we all grew up around each other. You know, he's a Hughs, but he's originally a Parker. So they're one of the biggest families in Delray's. And so I grew up with this young man. I kind of know him. So we just want to bring him in so he can tell us a little bit about his business. Everybody knows that Tuesday night is local love for me. I want to make sure that all of my family, friends, and everyone in the South Florida area gets exposure. And we're bringing him in to hang out with us tonight for a little while with him and his wife. He's going to tell you a little bit about his business.
Hey guys, how you doing?
So listen, I want to welcome you to the platform. Again, like I said before, you're not a stranger to me because we grew up together. And again, when I saw you on Facebook, that you had started your own business, and you know that's what I love. You know, I provide exposure, and I love that you're doing it. So listen, do me a favor. Tell everybody what you got going on. Tell everybody, you know, about termites. I learned about it a while ago. It's like a tent in my house. But tell us what you got going on.
All right, first of all, I'm Richard Hughs, and this is my wife,
Lemecia.
All right, so we own a termite and pest control company. We started in 2019. Towards the end of 2019. I've been in the industry for almost 20 years. And so, you know, the ironic thing is, you know, I had an opportunity for one of my mentors to become part owners of a company, and you know, it was growing out, it was going great, and everything was good, and I was just coasting, and never thought about being, you know, I mean, the principal owner until one day I was in church and I heard a sermon from my pastor, and he said it's a sin to be good when God called you to be great, and that flipped the switch in me. I kind of rebelled for a little while, and God started sending me visions and dreams, and so here we are. You know, we're family owned and operated, and so that's how we, you know, that's kind of the small version of how we got started. We service from anywhere from Port St. Lucie to Key West, and you know, we mainly do, our specialty is termites, but we do dib and dabble in pest control as well, but our specialty is termites. I can't hear.
All right. You hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So when I basically we decided to relocate back into my original home located, it's a disclosed area. So anyway, they said, hey, you got termites. And I'm like, what? How do you get termites? So the gentleman came out, he tenanted the home. And once he tenanted the home, he showed me, like, because the house is wooden. And you know, most of South Florida, even like especially in Delray, the house is wooden. It's not like the newer houses that they're building with cinder blocks. Most of the houses are wooden. So how can we distinguish, like, living in these houses, right? And we don't know we have termites. What is the first sign of us knowing that we have termites?
Well, first of all, the biggest misconception when you're talking about termites, most people hear the word termites and they freak out. But in South Florida, we're a tropical climate. We have 4 to 5 different types of termites. And so most people say, hey, you know, they hear the word termite and like I said, they freak out. But one of the signs is for the type of termite you had, based upon, because you had your house tenant, is you had drywood termites. And the reason why I know that is because the only time you'll ever tend a house is for drywood termites. And what they do is they produce a fecal matter, looks like a pepper almost. The color can range anywhere from a beige to a ruby red, like this wall behind me. And so that's the first sign. In the spring and summer, which is right now, we're getting in our biggest season from March to, I'll say, September is when the mature termites swarm out and they fly out. And so most people in the morning times, anywhere where there's light or there's window or it's translucent, they're going to find wings. And so that's a sign that you have termites, mature termites living in your structure.
Okay, so you know, I'm interested because I like this. So how many different types of termites are there? Now, also, once they removed the tent, there was like little things on the wall. And I know the guy said, oh, there's silverfish. Is that something that's a termite or that's not in the termite family? No,
that's a general household pest. So yeah, you know, you would group silverfish with ants, roaches, things of that nature. More often than not, if you have a silverfish problem, that means you have 2 things. That means you store a lot of paper, or you have some minks or cotton, because they love cotton and they love paper. So yeah. But yeah, no, that's totally different from a termite. Termites only eat wood. They don't want anything else. Another misconception is, yes, we have wood frame houses, but even when you build center block houses, CBS, subterranean termites come up from the ground and they create mud tunnels. And so they'll go over the brick to get to your roof. Yeah, they can get to your roof. They can get to your baseboards, your door frames. That's all wood as well. And most people don't understand that. They said, no, I have a CBS house. One of my good customers that I've had for a long time, he was a New Yorker. He moved down here and he bought a warehouse. He didn't get a termite inspection. Anytime you're in South Florida and you buying a new structure, I don't care if they just built it, you need a termite inspection. Because with him, and with a lot of people, they don't get a termite inspection because they feel like the home is CBS. Well, about $10,000 later, he wished he would have got that termite inspection, and so there's nothing he can do about it because he had already bought the structure and he was past his 90-day threshold.
Okay, so the recommendation is, even with the summer coming up, do you recommend that South Florida? Because this is something that people don't even realize they have it. I was somewhere visiting, and it was like these little flying, they're flying ants. I was like, I think they're termites. It was like, no, they're just flying ants. I was like, no, I think you got termites. You know me, I say anything. Y'all keep praying for me in church on Sunday. So how many different types? And I know, I knew here because once we were at my house, once we did the tinting and we took all the walls out to remodel, the wood was mush. It's like mesh.
Yes,
you could
yeah.
peel it down with your hand, like, oh my God. So is it true? Because someone told me before, and I'm just asking you because you're the professional, the termite just eat enough of your house for the structure to fall?
I see it happen all the time. I'll tell you a quick story about a lady that she came from Idaho. Again, she didn't have a termite inspection. She lived out in Parkland. Well, after we did the inspection and I got up in the roof, I couldn't get into her entire roof because I was fearful, because they had eaten so much of the rafter that I was fearful that I was going to fall through. Well, they came out and I had to have her remove all the insulation in the house. Well, what I thought was a small problem, after they moved all the insulation, and it's just one of many houses that I've been to, it was 60% of the house. The city of Parkland deemed it condemned. So they literally had to rebuild her house. It was $250,000 later. But all the time, the average damage for subterranean termites, which is the most dangerous termite, you range anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. So when you're talking about damage, subterranean termites cause the most damage. And anybody that's on my social media platforms, you'll see last week that I posted from the Florida Department of Agriculture, the super termite. And so what the super termite is the Asian termite and our native South Florida termite, which is the eastern sub, they have now mated. And so now they call them the super termite. So let me give you an illustration on how much they eat. So let's just take a regular door frame. A regular eastern subterranean termite would eat a door frame in 4 to 6 months. A super termite will eat that in 2 months. So that just tells you the difference on how fast they eat, because the colony size grow. A regular subterranean termite colony is about anywhere from 500,000 to 1 million. When you're talking about the super termite, you're talking about 4 to 6 million. So, of course, the more termites, the more they eat. Now, when we're talking about what you had, which is a drywood termite, they're really called a nuisance termite for the simple fact is that they don't really cause much structural damage. Over time, 15, 20 years, they'll cause damage because you said the house was old, but they don't cause that much damage. The biggest thing is they produce a dropping, which most women don't like because it's their fecal matter. And when I tell most people it's their fecal matter and touched it, they go crazy. But I see the look on your face. But their fecal matter don't cause any diseases or anything like roaches or rats or anything. They just keep producing it. And what it is just processed wood. And most people step on it, they sweep it up. But that's a sign of a first start of a termite infestation. Those are drywood termites. And drywood termites are tropical. So you're only going to find drywood termites from Orlando, Tampa, Daytona, South, and in the islands. One of the funny things is also with me doing this, we were on a cruise 4 years ago, and we were in what city?
Well, Turks and Caicos.
No, it was in Turks and Caicos. But I'm so used to inspecting properties and houses. So just to warn, if y'all let me over to your house, I don't do it on purpose. I just look. That's just what I do for a living.
Well, you want to come over and visit me? Because you
So
every time you want to come.
so I told my wife,
Smell it.
so I told my wife, look, they got termites, and she slapped me on the hand and said, "Stop, you're not working." But the restaurant we were in Cakes and Turcos, they had the restaurant was being eaten by termites. I could see the wings and the pellets all throughout the restaurant. So I just kind of laughed, but the food was good, and so we ate and we left.
Listen. From now on, listen, and you know what? It's like I got a couple houses. So I have another house, and so what you're telling me is right that first of all, you telling me that the two termites is making babies and they're making power couples.
Yes,
exactly. They crossing and making power couples and eating up everything.
Right.
You're telling me that I thought that when you see the wood on the floor, I thought it was wood. Those are droppings.
Well, it is wood. It's just processed. It's wood. It's just processed wood.
It never dissipate. It never disintegrate.
Right. And so like my wife was saying is that those droppings, you can take a hammer and try to smash them. They don't disintegrate at all.
Okay, I'm still stuck on the Asian and American coming together, making babies, and just having these children that's just around here really just tearing down houses. So that's what I'm scared of right now. I'm just scared that the fact of these people that's coming together and just having Tasmanian devils eating up your whole house. So now that being people's house inspected, I don't even know how to inspect. So if I see a wing, anytime you see, I'm in my studio now, right? So now I'm looking around, seeing the thing. Whenever it's gonna be bad from now on, it's gonna be your fault because I'm gonna be checking every door and every corner because I just thought, and trust me, I've been places and I've seen the termites, and I'm like, oh, I got termites, but I did not know that was a dropping. So that's something that's really educational because people are thinking that they're not understanding that is,
yes, that their house is being eaten right underneath them, and they're not even paying rent or mortgage. And so here's the thing is, so if you see a wing, it's just simple. See, we're friends, so now you understand. That's all you got to do is take a picture and send it to me, and based upon the wing, I can tell you if it's a termite or if it's an ant. And it's just easier for me to detect. Also, when you're talking about spring and summertime is the premier time for termites to flourish. So I'll give you a couple of stats here. So it's not about if you're going to get termites, it's about when. So in South Florida, so from Fort Pierce to Key West, the Census Bureau says that one in four properties will have termites from the time point of 10 to 12 years. So every 10 to 12 years, a structure will have termites, without a doubt. There's no if. You're going to have it.
So let me just ask you this question, because I know that at one point in Delray, the property I have in Delray, the people came out and they put some type of thing in the ground and it pops up if it has termites. Is that something that you recommend, or do you recommend a full tinting of the property?
All right, so those are two different type service for two different type termites. Okay, so the pop-up, yes, I recommend that. If you live in South Florida, like I said, you're gonna get them, or your neighbor's gonna get them, and then they're gonna come right next to you.
And it depends on the area that you live in, is prone to
different types of termites. Correct.
Actually, it's an app that you can go to and figure out which areas have big termite problems.
Right. So yeah. So the University of Florida is where we get our key from. And so they create an app. Anytime we find different species of termites, we send it to the University of Florida. So they actually have a map. I can just go on your street and tell you how many different people on your street have had termites. And then I can pretty much kind of gauge when you're going to have them again. But so I want to get back to your question about the pop-up, your face. So the pop-up, that's subterranean termites. So when the termites eat the bait that's inside the station, that's when that will pop up. That particular termite comes from the soil. Mm-hmm. All right. So tinting a house, that's for drywood termites. That particular termite flies in, gets into your fascia, works his way to the attic, works your way down to the wall, and it gets in it. That's drywood termites. So those are two different type services. And most people don't really understand. It's like, oh, I had the soil treated, but that doesn't protect you from drywood termites. Or they say, I had my house tinted, but that doesn't protect you from having subterranean termites come off the soil. So you have to have both.
Now I have a question. How often should you check for termites in your home?
Once a year. You should always check at least once a year. And again, you want to check in the premier months. So you want to be checking from March to about September. Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing. So I can go out to a house, and let's just say in December, even though we don't have a true winter here, but I can go out to a house in like December and check that house, and I won't see any signs of termites, because termites get dormant once we get cool weather. Mm-hmm. All right. So I know people are like, well, we don't get cool weather in Florida. Yeah, we talk about humidity. Termites, they thrive on humidity. So anything 80, the humidity is at 80% or higher, termites are active. Once that humidity drops, they're not as active. So the humidity generally drops in November to December and January and a little bit of February. But then I can go back and check that same house in August, and that same house will show signs of termites, because they move in the spring and summertime when it's warm.
Whoa. People need to understand this, because you know what, as a homeowner, you don't know this. Nope, there is no handbook to understanding that, okay, you may have termites. And people think that, and I told someone the other day, they was like, well, we use the same spray that we use for roaches. I said, I don't think that works that way. You can't use roach spray.
No, it doesn't.
I said, you might want to tune into the show, because basically the education process, and I do see that you have a YouTube. Congratulations on your YouTube. I love it. You're very educational. And I was watching it the other day when you were talking about the code and the different things. And that's a great way to educate. And that's another reason why I invited you here, because I love exposure. I scream exposure every day. And I think that this is a way to completely educate people of, hello, y'all, we have a little Tasmanian devil living in our walls. And we don't even know, because, and they make it in our house, and they paying no rent, like you said.
Exactly.
They making it and having children and having reunions, and we have no clue that any of this is going on, which that is crazy. So let me get to this, because I heard the beginning of your story. You stated that you decided to step out on faith and start a business. The missus, at what point did you say, this is your passion, your dream? Because hey, I got a husband now. I got married recently. This is your passion. This is your dream. I don't want to go and play with termites all day. Was it that, or did you say, okay, honey, because we are the virtuous women that we are? Did you say, okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this, and I got you? I mean, in the back of our minds, you're like, I got you, but I really don't want to deal in this. What did you think when your husband sat down and say, we're gonna give it all up and we're gonna be termite pest control and take care of things?
Actually, I was the one encouraging him to go and do it. It was kind of crazy. I was like, well, why don't you go ahead and get your own company, and we can step out on faith. And then once he was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna do it. Then I was like, oh geez, let me get my bank account and see if we can do this. But it was good. It was good. We did. Matter of fact, I think the timing that we did it was like perfect. It was perfect timing. We went through a pandemic right after we started the company, and we never skipped a beat. That's how I know that it was like God's will that we did it, because we see companies losing, companies are going out of business, and we started a business during a pandemic. So I'm like,
wow, and that's pressing through the pandemic.
Yes.
And I want to send a shout out to Urban Townsend Jr. I think that's his name. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken. The reason why I want to send a shout out to him, because my moderator now, which is my daughter, she now has a job. So she's not my moderator anymore. And he's been moderating this show. So, sir, let me give you a round of applause, because Him and Malaya Hughes have been moderating this show for me. So I just want to say thank y'all so much. So Malaya Hughes and Urban Townsend Jr., thank you so much for moderating. He has been on it. So let me ask you
Yeah,
another
that's
question, right? I was doing the show and I was setting everything up, and I'm like, okay, so what is PQ stands for? What is it?
I knew you were going to ask that question because everybody asks that question. That PQ stands for perfect quality. So
Okay.
yeah, perfect quality termite protection. So yeah, that's what we know. I mean, we're not perfect, but we want to strive for perfection, and we want to give a quality service. And so in our neighborhoods, to be honest with you, we don't see pest professionals that look like us.
Exactly.
And so quality is everything. And so I want to make sure, and I tell my boys, I tell the girls all the time that we want to make sure that we're always giving good service. And so, because service is everything when it comes down to us. Because even with me, if I don't have good service at a restaurant or somewhere else, then I won't go back and shop there. And so I always want to give an impression. I don't want to gain a customer. I want to gain a friend. So
Exactly.
so perfect
And again,
quality.
perfect quality. I was like, oh my God. I didn't want to inbox you. I said, I'll wait till the shore. So Rashawn Parker, she says her job needed a company as soon as possible to come in and fumigate one side of our building at the beginning of January 2021. And ever since they've came into the building, to this day, the nursing home has been 100% COVID free. So just talking about that, you also do fumigation as well, right?
All right. So what it is it's and so we dabble. Yes, we try to multitask, and so yeah, with COVID out there, we do disinfections, and so we'll go in and we'll disinfect homes. You have to be out of the structure for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then so we hit all of all of what we call the hot spots, as well as the whole entire house. And so what that does is that viricide will sit on the structure for up to 90 days. And so if someone comes in, and say if even most people focus on just the COVID aspect, but even with flu and colds and things of that nature,
Right.
God forbid, it'll take care of HIV/AIDS, it'll take care of SARS, hepatitis. If someone touched that surface within that 90 days, it'll kill it right then and there. So yeah, that's a part of our disinfection service, that we provide as well at PQ Termite Protection.
Now, I for some reason I loaded up the picture of your family, but for some reason I think it's on. I use a lot of stuff and it's not working properly. So my question to you is that picture, that's your entire family, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's our whole family. So we are family owned and operated. So
Yes.
everybody you see in the picture, even my dog that's in the picture, she works. So so she works from my grandbabies to the boys, to the girls. They do all the administration. You talking about my son Arvin? He does all the media and technical things for us. And so, yeah, everybody has to work, and not only that, but because we're a faith-based family, no questions about it. And then so our biggest thing is once we got started is we wanted to leave a legacy, my wife and I, and we wanted to leave an inheritance. And so this company is just not just for us; it's for our kids, and for their children's children. And so we will always have PQ termite protection. They can't sell it. It's in the will. They can't sell it. All 7 of them will have to agree upon it. So either it's going to dissolve or they're going to keep going. And so on a daily basis, my 2 boys, David and Richard, we work, we out there in the field, we working. And then in the summertime, we have the other 2 boys help us out or doing spring break. So no days off.
I got a question. Now, this is a good question because I had a problem with this too. So, Dad Parker, which is another one of my family on the next block, any advice on removing a beehive from my garage? So, do you also do beehives? Because I got the same problem.
Okay, so no bees. Don't deal with bees. But here's the thing about bees though. But I know about them. All right, so there's regular honeybees and then there's Africanized bees. You have to be careful. So because here's the thing, a natural beehive, when a hive is destroyed or disturbed, they'll send out maybe 30 to 50% of the bees at you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's just regular honeybees, natural honeybees. But there's called, you ever heard of killer bees? They're called Africanized bees. They're here. They'll send out 90% of the colony and they will chase you up to 1.5 miles away from the structure. So you got to be really, really careful. So when you got bees, you want to have a professional because you want to have them come in with the suits and everything to either remove the hive or it may be a swarm. So you just got to make sure. So yeah, don't play around with those bees.
And also the natural honeybees are now beginning to be on an endangered species list. So they didn't want you to kill them at all because you need the bees for the pollen and everything to keep the ecosystem going.
Right.
And
correct.
So you got to be careful with killing bees. And
I got a hive in the backyard that's probably... The thing is, we did have it removed one time, and the guy came out, removed the hive, took everything out, and I went. It's back big again, and it has spread it like the length of the wall almost to the point.
So here's the reason why, though. I'll tell you, you're gonna always have a problem there, even when you remove it. All right. So here's the reason why you always have a problem. So bees use pheromone scent. It's a scent. Will you ever see where ants, if you see ants, they're walking in a straight line and they're following each other? Like, how do they know to go in a straight line? Well, they use a pheromone scent. Bees do the same thing. So even once you remove that, the hive, I see a bee colony that's in the area and they smell that pheromone, they'll go right to that same spot and they'll start a hive all over again. So you can forget it. Even when you remove it, you're going to always have a problem there.
So I just
spray and stuff.
Yeah,
you can, but often, yeah, she's pretty much she's gonna always have it. You have to keep spraying it, yeah, on a yearly basis.
If after this show I show it to you, you'll be like, whoa. And we've had it taken care of several times. And then the guy says, well, we got to pressure clean it in order to, like you said, to make sure it's all
pheromone centigrade. Yep.
And he says, I said, well, why didn't you pressure clean it then? So he said, oh, well, I didn't know you was you came out and got it and left the cousins. You took the mom and the daddy and left the cousin over here. So they have now came back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Because it has made it bigger to the point we got to cut the wall out the inside of the house in order to remove the hive. So, Thadric, let me see. He said, Lord have mercy, these. I can't say what you said, Thadric. Have these. Don't kill me. No, they're not going to kill you. Call these people and they'll come and take. I love that. I'm not used to calling them Thadric. We used to call him T-Man, but he grown now, so we have to call him that. So we are so excited that basically you have a family-owned and operated company, because a lot of companies, they start out and it's like, okay, well, let me bring in this person. And the thing is, like you said, it's for generations to come. We never think about leaving our children the wealth of building a business, and you press through the pandemic. So when did you actually start the company? When did you step out and say, I'm gonna press through and start the business?
Well, again, I was part owners. My mentor, we worked together at another location for about 5 to 6 years, and then he left the company. Then I managed the company, and then I ended up leaving, and I was just kind of I was just wandering in the wilderness. I had started with this other company. I was going to start their termite program, and every year we have to have continuous education, and a lot of times we meet either in Fort Lauderdale Convention Center or the West Palm Beach Convention Center. And you're talking about thousands of people, pest control professionals. So I was in there, and someone kept calling my name, and I was like, "Who is this?" And so I had moved from Delray then, and then I had changed my phone numbers and everything. And he was like, "I've been looking for you." And so he was like, I got an opportunity for you. He looked at my shirt and said, who's this little company you're working with? I'll leave them. And I said, come work for us. And he says, I'm getting older, so I need somebody to be able to run the company for me. Now, keep in mind, the crazy thing again, when my wife was talking about, God making everything work out, I didn't tell her. I only told one of my buddies from church. And what it was, I believe in God. I just didn't expect him to move at that particular time or that soon or that fast in my life. And so I woke her up like that, like 2 days later, because I like 4 o'clock in the morning, said I couldn't hold it. And I said, hey, I got reintroduced to Gil again. And she's like, okay, so what? Like that. I was like, he want me to be partners. And so she was like, and then I told her our amount that he was going to start, that the partner was going to make. Now it's 3 o'clock in the morning. She looked at me and like, you accepted the job, right? I was like, no, I didn't. And she was like, what? Are you crazy? You need to call him in the morning and accept the job. And so I accepted the job. And then, we worked together again for about 4.5 years. And then again, like I said, I was coasting. And then I heard that sermon. I said that it's a sin, like my pastor, Bishop Pelt, one time for Radiant, my big supporters. They always,
yes.
And I heard that sermon, it's a sin to be good when God called you to be great. And I knew exactly what he was saying. And so I needed to step out. And so that's how it all, in a nutshell, that's how it all happened. And so, we started in November of 2019. November 2019, and like you say, we're going strong. Each day we're growing and growing. We're getting the our customer base is growing, and I rely on my kids a lot. Here it is, not even for the physical work. You talk about that YouTube, our YouTube channel. Those are my kids' idea. Shout out to our YouTube channel, Talking Termites. You guys go on there and subscribe, like, and share. But those are my kids. Our Instagram. I don't even know the password to our Instagram. That's all my kids. They said, Daddy, listen, we're going to show you how to take a video. You take a video and then you load it up on Facebook and Instagram. Our website, my kids, they do all of this stuff, so they bring me into, to this, to this computer world. Even with we got a marketing campaign that's coming out. Everything was designed for our kids. And then for y'all kids out there, we have a, what is it called? A QR code. A QR code. See, I don't even know what it is. A QR code. So only thing you got to do is just like they have in the restaurants, you can see the menu. You just scan it, and then it brings up all our platforms. All that, it comes from our kids. And I have other bigger companies coming to me and say, hey, how do you come up with this stuff? And I said, my kids. Yeah, they're like, can we hire your kids? And I'm like, no. But if you can look here, I'll show you our QR code.
Right.
Yeah. So, you just scan it, and then boom, it'll show you our logos in the middle. So, our kids have been vital in this business, but that's great again, because it's one day going to be their business. And so, I'll be sitting in Bahamas somewhere, sipping on virgin margaritas, and they'll be with the company. Right.
Listen, let me give a shout out to your family, because they are tuned in. I want to give a shout out to the Parkers, Sean Parker. She told me give her a shout out. So we want to give a shout out to the family. They want to give a shout out to the Radiant family. Now, I hate to break in, but let's give a shout out to the Radiant family. Go ahead and give a plug to your church, because I do a church segment on Thursday.
Yes. All right. So my wife and I, for 10 years now, I've been attending Radiant Living Worship Center with our senior pastors, Bishop Anthony T. Pelt. And so they're instrumental. One thing I can say, the church gets knocked a lot, for a lot of different things. But I can tell you that I would probably say at least 30-40% of our business is the church. It's the church. It's the church and my large family. And yes, my family does pay us, so it's not a freebie. But yeah, between my family and my church, they have been instrumental in our growth and just kind of keeping us humble. So we love you both.
Yes.
Yeah, they are tuned in tonight, and I just want to thank you. I want to thank the Parkers. I want to thank everybody for tuning in the Radiant family. Listen, that is how it works. This is what happens is, and I try to tell people, when you're connected with two different powerful families and they come together, business will work because you got a
Yes.
praying family and a praying church family. Ain't nowhere but to go but up. He talking about he don't want to preach on here. You want to start here. I try to keep our topics. I try to keep our topics and keep people in the gospel over there. But the blessing, I'm telling you, just like I was telling somebody this weekend that, God had really blessed me. And I'm sorry, y'all, that's tuned in Hot Topics. I know I keep that on Thursday night. But God had blessed me this week with so many different things. And everybody say, you always want to interview independent business owners. And we do that because we want to make sure you get exposure and your business grow. Because when your business grow, my business grow. Because right
Yes.
now, there's 25 people that's on here right now. There's probably more because I can't see all the stuff going on. People that didn't know anything about me, had no clue I did this, are now tuned in. So they'll see what the next business will be next week. So
Right.
not only that, and there'll be 25 people that say, I didn't know that he did termites. And I didn't know that those are droppings, because now I'm gonna be with a flashlight looking at the floor now. Call me all paranoid. So the thing about it is, this is the local love that we have to restore upon each other when, especially like like Melania said, she's so proud of her parents. And there's no other way to go but to go up. And you
Right.
guys, I've been watching you guys since you started. I know I reached out to you a long time ago, but it was just
Right.
so much going on, and I had just popped up and got married, and so I said, you know what, I gotta wait until I get settled. And then I see your PR. I'm like, wait a minute, you got your code?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you got your YouTube? I said, I gotta get him on the show because I see that you're doing big things. And I know that God is your blessing, because one thing about it is you went into counsel before doing it. A lot of
Right.
times we jump up and do things on our own, and it's just something that we do from here. But when you go to the counsel of God and say, God, lead me and guide me, and you got a
Yeah.
prayer life, you ain't nowhere to go but up. You ain't got
Yes.
nothing else to
Oh,
do but just flow and flow. Let me. It's this Tuesday, y'all. This Tuesday. I ain't come for this. Y'all can take me to Thursday. Thursday night is when we have the preachers on, and we go into that. But again, I just want to thank you. Tell everybody. I know your son's in the background, and you probably don't know everything. Tell us how we can find you, how we can contact you. If not, if I can get one of these young people that's moderating to type it in, I can read it. Tell us how we can find you on all social media outlets, the phone numbers, and how we can reach you so that some of my listeners can go ahead and get a termite inspection, because now I'm gonna need one.
gotcha. Yeah, so first and foremost, yeah, you can reach us at 855 464 3636. That's just our office number. But then on the social media platforms, we're PQ Termite Protection. On Facebook, we're PQ Termite Protection. On Instagram, and then I would love for everybody to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Talking Termites. And that way, with Talking Termites, I love it because we give you illustration after illustration about what we see live in the actual field. And so nothing's better than a visual. And so, yeah, as far as those inspections, and every household should have one. Whether you're a homeowner, whether you're a business owner, whether you have property or you're a property owner, you need to have those termite inspections, because the biggest thing is, because it's not if, it's when. And so, you're going to have that, and then you're going to have treatments. There are all different types of treatments that we can use. Everything doesn't have to be a necessarily tent unless it's bad. But we definitely thank you for having us on this platform. Come here, girls. And so one of the things is, with us, we always talk about inspections. Everybody that sees us on Facebook or sees us on any one of those platforms. So our slogan is, so here's one of my grandbabies, and both of them actually kneel down for me. So what do we say at PQ Termites?
PQ Termites Protection?
Yes. What are we supposed to do?
Get protected.
Get protected.
That's right. So we get protected. So that is our slogan. PQ Termites, get protected. So we thank you. We're so gracious for this opportunity to have this opportunity. To highlight our business. And like I said, like you said, and this is you're gonna be a blessing for being a blessing to us.
And I got to get you over to visit. I need to bring you over for coffee so that you can look around and see if I got some problems.
Oh, no problem, no problem at all. We definitely do that.
Yeah.
I got to get you down. I got to get you down. But listen, I do want to. I'm gonna reach out to you because I want to basically start an outreach to kind of like educate the people on it. So this is something that a lot of people overlook and let it go over our head, and we just think that it's going to go away.
Right.
So we do have to let the older people, and Delray, you probably ride down our street on 7th to be like, oh, all these houses got termites, because it's something that we want to overlook, and we think that once we don't see them anymore, that they're gone. So I got to get with you so that we can try to help out some of the older people in Delray and get some inspections going and see how we can work with them. So listen, I'm not going to hold you long. Listen, these young ladies are beautiful. You ladies, you guys keep up the good work.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
She said, okay, thank you. So again, I want to thank you. She said, thank you. That's right, baby. One day you'll be like me. You have a couple of shows. You're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, get you a YouTube channel. That's what I started.
I already have
it. So again, I do want to thank you. I do want to thank everyone, all of your family, your camera guy. He's all in the background. I want to thank everybody who's tuned in tonight. You do have a strong source of help with you. So I do want to thank God for them, and I want to thank you for coming. And again, I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to go and go now and look in corners because now you got me paranoid. Just want to let you know.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody.
Good night and have a great one.
Get protected.
Get protected. So listen, y'all better get protected because now I'm nervous and scared because now I be thinking that it'd be something, and guess what? It'd be termites. So listen, the thing is, we don't think about certain things, and I brought them on because we, as us, we don't pay attention to the signs of what's going on in our homes, and we just sweep it up and keep on going. So I need you guys, if you think you have a problem, and wait a minute, we learned this tonight, that at least once a year, you should call a company out to check for termites because this is the climate that can come in and take your whole house out. And I know y'all don't want your house to be like the dust. So you guys give my friends and family over at PQ Termite Protection a call. You guys come out, call them. One call can save you a lot of headache. I'm looking for their number now as we speak. The phone number is 855-464-3636. Listen, give them a call so that you can get a I'm like now, I got to get them to go to all my properties because I'm like a little paranoid. And again, like David said, it's not about if, it's about when. And I need you guys to get protected. So hey, if you ain't learned nothing else tonight, I need you guys to get protected. So again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, hanging out with me. I thought that this show was worthy of the entire show. Normally I bring in 2 guests, but this is something that we wanted to do because we want you to get protected. Again, we want to give a shout out to all of my my proud sponsors, which is a Natural Seal. And if you would like to advertise with us, if you're looking for promotion, you let us know. We'll be more than happy to promote you right here on Hot Topics Pop-Up Show, as well as Gideon and Cole. Y'all already know they pay the cost to be the boss. It is still tax season, y'all. Still tax season. So if you're looking to get your taxes done and to get a good price, y'all contact Sylvia over at Gillian and Co., as well as a Natural Seal, all natural products to make sure, to make sure that you got all natural products, soaps, candles, and everything you need. A Natural Seal If you look in the link in the bio, all her information is in the link in the bio. And look, y'all join me next week. Join me next week. I'm gonna have another small business owner. I'm gonna start promoting that. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really love and appreciate everyone that tuned in tonight. Shout out to the Parkers, the Hughs. Shout out to all of you guys. I really appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you. I love you and good night.